Hello, students. Let us learn about the Model Millionaire, a short story by famous Irish writer Oscar Wilde. In this video, we will be talking about the life of Oscar Wilde, the important aspects of the story, The Model Millionaire, the plot of the story, the characters of the story, then the style, techniques, as well as the relevance of the story to our modern day lives. So, uh, on this slide, you can see we have given the brief idea about who was Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde was born in Dublin, Ireland in 1854. He is famous for his wit, flamboyance, and contributions to literature. His renowned works include The Picture of Dorian Gray, The Importance of Being Earnest, and a collection of short stories. He is known for satire, social criticism, and aestheticism in literary style, as well as his style is focused on the themes of social class, morality, and human nature. Let's have the overview of The Model Millionaire. The story was published in 1887 as part of the short stories of Oscar Wilde. The genre of the story is obviously short story. It is light-hearted and humorous one. The story is set in the late 19th century London, focusing on the upper class society, and it has a playful, ironic tone with a moral message at its core. What is the main plot of the story? The main plot involves certain important characters. For example, there is Huey Erskine, a charming but poor young man, is in love with Laura Merton. Huey encounters a beggar model while visiting his friend Alan Trevor, a painter. Feeling pity, Huey gives the beggar a soursop. Later, Huey learns that the beggar was actually a millionaire named Baron Hausberg, who later rewards him generously. The Baron gives Huey £10,000, which allows him to marry Laura. This gives us an introduction of the main characters in the story. There are four important characters in this story. The first one is naturally Huey Erskine, the hero or protagonist of our story. He is a kind but financially struggling young man. He is generous even when he cannot afford generosity. Huey represents the theme of innocence and goodness. The next character is Laura Merton. Uh, Obviously, she is Hugh's love. Huey loves her. So she represents conventional beauty and societal expectations. The third one is Baron Hausberg, a wealthy man who disguises himself as a beggar. He also symbolizes the unpredictability of wealth and the difference between appearances and reality. The fourth and most important character is Alan Trevor. He is a painter and a good friend of Huey. He serves as a bridge between the wealthy baron and the generous Huey. So, these are the important characters. What are the important themes in the story? So, the themes are generosity and kindness, as we have seen that represents this generosity despite his poverty. The baron's immense reward for Huey shows his kindness. So, generosity and kindness are important ideas that are reflected in Oscar Wilde's story, The Model Millionaire. Then, appearances versus reality is another important theme that Oscar Wilde projects through this story. The irony of a wealthy man posing as a beggar is also important. Wilde's commentary on social class and how wealth can often be misleading is also important in this story. The third important theme is social class and wealth. See, contrast between the poor Huey and the wealthy Baron Hausberg is pointed out in the story. White critiques the value society places on wealth. The last but the most important is morality. The story suggests that good deeds do not go unrewarded. Promoting a sense of moral justice is important theme of the story. There are certain symbols used by the author in the story. Who are these symbols and what do they symbolize? The first symbol is the image of beggar. The beggar symbolizes the superficial judgments society makes based on appearances. It also represents the barriers between social classes. Then the second is the Savarjan, a symbol of Hugh's good heart, and it also represents the notion that true wealth lies in generosity, not money. The third important symbolical significance is of Baron Hausberg. He represents the paradox of wealth. His character challenges societal perceptions of who is worthy of kindness. So, thus, these are some important symbols that you have to remember. In this story, one more important thing that Oscar Wilde does, and that is critique of society. Wilde critiques the superficiality of the upper class, highlights the random distribution of wealth and how it often fails to reflect personal merit. Wilde uses wit and irony to expose the contradictions between wealth, class, and morality. Through characters like Huey, Wilde shows that true nobility lies in generosity and kindness, not in material wealth. So the next important thing is Wilde's use of irony and humor. You know, students, there are two important things that Wilde uses frequently in the story. The first one is irony. A millionaire disguised as a beggar receiving a donation from a poor man. Don't you think this is a big irony? Hugh's unawareness of Baron's identity adds to the comic effect of that scene. The next thing is humor. Wilde's wit and light-hearted tone makes the moral message palatable. The story engages readers while subtly teaching them about kindness and appearances. So, what is the final message of the story? To conclude the video, see, friends, The Model Millionaire is more than just a humorous short story. It encourages readers to look beyond appearances and recognize the value of generosity. Wilde's satire and wit deliver a timeless message about human kindness, social class, and moral integrity. I am sure that